Tialf, the fabled speed skating venue in Heerenveen in the Netherlands, getting ready for the third stop on the ISU Speed Skating World Cup. Olympic qualifying for the 2026 Winter Games in Milano Cortina coming down to the wire. Just two stops remain, 2 weekends to go for skaters to secure quota spots for their nations. After 2 weekends in North America, the venue shifts to Europe now. As I mentioned, Tialf hosts week number 3 before everything wraps up next weekend before the Christmas break. Countries will know just how many skaters they will be able to send to the Olympic Games. Hi everybody, Gavin Day here, about ready to go for World Cup number 3, the women's 5,000 meters. You see the slate on your screen. The first of 3 events today. There will be the women's 5,000 meters, men's 1,500, and women's 1,000. There are the World Cup distance standings coming in. Of course, it's been 2 3,000 meters so far. And this really is the one time for the 5,000 meters ahead of that Olympic quota cutoff. Joy Buna, of course, leading the way with 2 wins in 2 races. Packed house expected all weekend long at Tialf. And I'm sure what will be a spectacular atmosphere as always. And there you see the first of the start lists. The first pairings, mind you. There will be 6 pairs in all in the women's 5,000 meters. And it all starts pair number 1. They're being blown to the line. It will be Josie Hoffman of Germany and Merel Konijn of the Netherlands. Tialf is, of course, as always, seeing plenty of action. There is the World Cup this weekend, and right after Christmas will be the Dutch long track trials. That tournament is expected to bring fierce battle with so many skaters trying to secure quotas, the spots that are earned on the World Cup. And Hoffman and Konijn are at the line. That is Josie Hoffman, native of Gera in Germany. It's in Thuringia, in the southeast part of the country near Czechia. And Merel Konijn on the start line on World Cup for the first time this year. She did not take part in the 2 North American weekends.
Go to the start. Ready.
First pair in the 5,000 meters underway. Konijn is an interesting one out of Amsterdam. The 24-year-old, as I mentioned, who did not take part in the first 2 events on the World Cup circuit, that being Salt Lake City and Calgary. She is, however, bronze in both the 3,000 and the 5,000 meters from last season's World Championships, and then started the year with the Dutch Championships, winning both the 3,000 and the 5,000 meters. And so, one of those skaters very much in the ascendancy, but Buna is going to be tough to beat. The Dutch, already superlative long trackers, seem to be in fantastic form. And in the 5,000 meters, when all the qualifying shakes out, there will only be 2 maximum quota spots per nation. And so, with a number of top skaters, the Dutch are going to have some battles coming up at that tournament post-Christmas, when they will have their Olympic selections. Hoffman jumping up to the A division this weekend. In Salt Lake City, she skated the 3,000 meters from the B division, finishing 16th, and then the second weekend finishing 1st in the B division. Early going, comparable lap times. Hoffman going a little bit quicker. And unlike the 3,000 meters, where a lot of skaters are adopting the tactics these days of banking time early, going out a little bit quicker, and as they fade later in the race, it's just a matter of survival and just keeping the legs going and preventing a steep drop-off in time. The 5,000 meters, the longer distance to worry about. That might not be such a good prospect. And so you look at the likes of Isabel Weidman, Martina Sablikova, the skaters who pride themselves historically on keeping the lap times as consistent as possible. But so look at the likes of Valerie Malte, Francesca Lollobrigida. There's a lot to look forward to this weekend, starting right here with the 5,000 meters. Hoffman with an inline background. Took up speed skating in 2016 with a target in mind, the Olympic Games. She did the World Games in 2017 in inline. Hoffman still leading the way. She celebrates a birthday in about 5 days' time. She will be turning 29, based out of Erfurt. And Hoffman lapping 32.79, Konine 32.89. Half a second difference, but of course that back half of the race, so much changes once the lactic settles into the legs. Konine, as I mentioned, out of Amsterdam. An outdoor oval there in the eastern part of the city, the Jaap Eden Ijsbaan. A lovely outdoor facility, very popular. And now Hoffman's time starts to tick up into the 33s with Konine still a 32.82. She'll get a good draft as they cross over. Konine's going to dip into the inner lane. And now this might be the time that she just decides to keep the pedal to the metal and drive it away as they are into the second half of the race. Through 3,000 meters, Konine, 4:09.29. Lapping over a second quicker than Hoffman. So Hoffman now, the pain starts to settle into the legs. Of course, Salt Lake and Calgary, there was always that near permanent world record watch. We don't expect so many in tee-off. However, long distance ones are a bit different. There's that trade-off. When you're at the high elevation ovals, you do get that bigger glide, but with the thinner air, it's a bit tougher to breathe, and so we'll see what happens at sea level. But as I said, not expecting a world record. Irene Schouten has the track record of 6:41.25. And just a couple laps to go. Konine taking this one confidently ahead of Hoffman. 32.93, still sub 33 is Miro Konine. Hoffman over 34 seconds. And just a quick drop of the arm to keep those legs ticking over. The arm just helping a little bit to prevent a total slowdown. Konine looking very, very good. Podium from pair number one is possible when that's the skater on the line. Inside two to go now. Konine still sub 33 with a 5:47.91. Hoffman going consistently just over 34 seconds. This ice too. Perhaps more of a test of what will be comparable to Milan. The juniors got a test of that Milan Oval last weekend, but it's not one of the high elevation ices like a Salt Lake or a Calgary. There's the bell, one to go. Konine still 32. Such a consistent race by Miro Konine, the World Championship bronze medalist. One final crossover. The Dutch fans, of course, do cheer for everyone regardless of nationality, but they'll cheer extra hard for the home nation skater, Konine. She's going to take pair number one. She'll set the time to beat. It will be interesting to see how long this one holds up. Conan with one arm down will set a time of 6:53.30 in a final lap, 32.5 seconds, and so Conan kept it sub 33 pretty much the entire way. Hoffman a 7 minutes, 0.64 even. And so we'll see how long Miro Conan's time holds up, but a good race to open action in Heerenveen. And so Conan's time, it's about 12 seconds off the track record. A good smile from her amid all that fatigue. Here, number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Olympic team pursuit champion
Yvonne Blondin, the Canadian veteran, alongside her Bente Kerkhoff. One of many young Dutch skaters who will be vying for the spots in Italy. Just a picture of focus there on the start line.
Go to the start. Ready.
Kerkhoff there. Still 23 years of age, celebrates a birthday right before the new year. He'll turn 24, and I believe it's right smack dab in the middle of that Dutch Olympic qualifying tournament, and I'm sure she would imagine no better birthday present than getting to qualify for an Olympics. Kerkhoff in a small town in North Holland, north of Amsterdam, right near the water. Of course, Yvonne Blondin, the great Canadian veteran who skates just about every distance, bar the 500. Team Pursuit, part of that Team Pursuit gold medal winning side with Isabelle Weideman and Valerie Malte. It'll be interesting to look at the Canadian program post-Olympics, because they have a lot of skaters who are into the 30 range. You look at that Team Pursuit side, you look at Ted-Jan Blumen, and the Canadian program could be going through quite the turnover post-Olympics. Of course, the likes of Laurent Dubreuil, as Francesca Lollobrigida gets going. Just to take a look back at how they went, these two skaters, Blondin and Kerkhoff, went in North America. In the 3,000 meters, Blondin had a pair of 8th place results. Kerkhoff a 7th in Salt Lake City and a 12th in Calgary. Kerkhoff does do marathon speed skating, and those races do tend to go on for a while, and so 5K almost feels like nothing, but Kerkhoff 0.07 of a second under the time set by her own teammate. Kerkhoff was 3rd in the 5K at the Dutch Championships. That was right before the World Cup season got underway. Kerkhoff also bronze in the mass start in Salt Lake City, and so versatile skater to be sure. Kerkhoff still lapping in the 32.4 range, building up a bit of time. Conan really stayed consistent throughout. Blondin already in the 33.4 range. Let's see how things progress. Another one, 32.6, and so she has about 0.8 of a second to work with. If she just keeps settling in the 32 range, she is going to be moving atop the leaderboard. Conan had 1 lap in the 33s, and that was her fourth one, 33.13, and then she brought it down steadily and largely kept it consistent. The bottom right of your screen is the live update, and so you see the tenths of a second ticking down a little bit. Kirchhoff with a 32.97. Now that approaches a bit the danger zone. As this, you can start to see when Konine really brought it down. Down to .2. Blondin, I don't think will play a factor, at least in threatening the top of the leaderboard. Let's see what kind of shift Kirchhoff can have. Another one just flirting with the 33-second lap range. 0.2 of a second off the pace, and now the live split has them even, but still green, and so it might go down to the hundredths of a second at this stage. There still is plenty of time to go. After lap 4, Konine never went above 33 seconds, and now you see Kirchhoff start to dip into the red, but it's back and forth, really, isn't it? And now about 0.2 of a second off the pace, and now she dips into the 33s. And so what's interesting about the 5,000 meters is that the Olympic qualifying is shared with the 3,000 meters, but the 5,000 meters is a much smaller field. I think it's something like 9 skaters who will get in. Look at Joy Buna getting ready to go. But remember, you're not trying to qualify the individuals. You're trying to qualify your nation first, and then you worry about the individuals. And that's why the Dutch have those Olympic trials, the tournament coming up right after Christmas. And like I said, 2 nation quota spots in the women's 5,000 meters. Konine now, her time going a bit further ahead of Kirchhoff. Starts to slip a little bit. Now a second down, but after all this time with 2 laps to go, 1 second's difference. 1 1/4. Oh, not that much. Blondin lapping sub 34 still, so like I said, I don't think she is going to come back into this one, but Bente Kirchhoff at least looking top 2. We'll see what kind of shift she can put in, leaving it out there the final lap. So interesting to see the differences. Kirchhoff looking straight ahead when she was introduced. Konine always a smile and a wave for the home crowd. Now Kirchhoff approaching 34 seconds on a lap time, and Blondin's is coming back down a little bit. Just under 33.5. So I think Muriel Konine will survive a first challenge. But of course, lots more to come as we progress through. And let's see, the time for Kirchhoff is 6:57.17. So in the end, she's just under 4 seconds off the pace set by Konine. A good last lap by Blondin. Wow, she left it out there, 33.01. But she is in 4th right now after 2 pairs. All eyes will be on Joy Buna, and yes, as you can imagine, she will be in the last pair. When you see the Czech flags, you have a pretty good guess who's on the line.
Please welcome, representing the Czech Republic, Martina Sablikova.
Martina Sablikova.
Representing Belgium, national record holder in 3 5,000 meters and the team pursuit. Please welcome Sandrine Tuss.
So it is Sablikova and Sandrine Tuss.
Go to the start. Ready.
Sablikova. I talked to one former skater who once said, just watch Sablikova's face. It just doesn't give anything away. She just locks in and goes, and she knows her rhythm. By this stage of the game, 38 years old, you have a good idea of what your body can do, and so it's almost second nature to find a tempo that you know you can handle. Sablikova, not on the podium yet this season, but certainly one who can rise to the occasion. 6th in the 3,000 meters in Salt Lake City, 9th a week later in Calgary. So early returns, 183 for Sablikova. Just what you love about the long track fans in Heerenveen. They cheer for everybody. They come up with nicknames and just fans of the sport regardless of the colors on the skin suit. Sandrine Tass turned 30 in September out of Ostende. It's on the north coast of Belgium, just west of Bruges. And so there you go, Sablikova 32.46. Let's see how long she can lock in there. Tass, like a lot of skaters, particularly out of Belgium, I think of the likes of Bart Swings, a former inline skater. But at the age of 23, back in 2018, she made the switch over. What's so interesting about skaters and athletes like this is that they find ways to contribute off the ice as well. In case of Sandrine Tass, graduated in 2023 from the University of Ghent with a master's degree in bioscience engineering. So I'm sure lining up for life post-career to contribute in some way. But Tass was 10th in the 5,000 meters at the World Championships back in Calgary. Very even opening. They've been steadily in at the 32-second lap range. Tass right now a 32.71, Sablikova a 32.8. Just looking, these two skaters have been very evenly matched. Tass, as I mentioned, Sablikova 6th and 9th in the 3,000 meters in North America. Tass 9th and 7th. Both the skaters still in the green on the live split there. Tass is about a second and a half to work with. We're still under half the race to go. And Sablikova flirting with that 33-second lap time. And they drive it down into the mid-32 range, where we start to see those live splits start to tick closer to the red. Great skate from Tass so far. Conine watches. And Sablikova just about done negative splitting as she ticks into the 33-second range. Tass still running a very good tempo. Just looking back at the last World Championships where Conine won bronze, Sablikova was 5th. As I mentioned, Tass was 10th, but it looks like Tass is on a bit of a flyer right now. Still in the green, still hovering 1.2 seconds. 40 still, 32.63 lap time. Toss is putting something together here. It's been locked in at 1.2 seconds advantage for the last several laps. She's adding to it now. Sablikova slipping a little bit further behind as we reach 3 to go, 1,200 meters. I'm looking at that one, a 32.78. Thumbs up, liking it so far. Just keep this tempo going, and we will have a new leader atop the leaderboard. And she's adding to it. If I remember correctly, Konine was going about 32.9 in stretches. Now, yes, Toss adding to her advantage now with 2 laps to go. And a 32.75. She's over a second and a half ahead. And Konine maybe seeing her lead disappearing. A great skate from the Belgian. The Low Countries having a day so far. Just to check, Toss's personal best is 7 minutes, 0.63. So this looks like she could knock out a personal best. Yeah, first time over 33, but she has a second and a half to work with. Sablikova lapping 33.35. But Toss, what a skate this would be. Could be a personal best to move her atop the leaderboard. A little bit of movement on the arms. Certainly the fatigue is settling in. But she gets both arms back on the back, keeps the legs ticking over. And let's see what kind of time Sandrine Tass can set. It's going to the top of the leaderboard, and it's going 6:52.24. So by more than 8 seconds. How about that? And of course, anytime there's a personal best in Tealf, there's that little fanfare, but Sandrine Tass has just thrown it down. And just checking out Sablikova, 6:55.96, so she sets in third right now, just ahead of Bente Kerkhoff. But Sandrine Tass, welcome to the conversation. And in the fourth pair, it features the world champion, Francesca Lollobrigida, but first on the inside, Nadezhda Morozova.
And in the outer lane, representing Italy, it's the reigning 5,000-meter world champion, la grande campionessa, Francesca Lollobrigida.
Go to the start. Ready.
Megawatt smile from Lollobrigida. I defy anyone. If you cannot smile when you're introduced as a world champion, well, not sure what to say about that, but Lollobrigida introduced as the world champion in the 5,000 meters. Big smile, wave to the crowd. So many skaters love talking about how much they enjoy skating in this facility. It is just the temple of skating, and Lollobrigida getting an early draft behind Morozova, who is 27 years old, out of Astana. She's been on the circuit. Of course, her and Dmitry Morozov, spouses. She says about 80% of their conversations are about the sport. so far this season. Just going over the distance results this year. Morozova, she was first in the B division in Salt Lake and jumped up to 5th up in A in Calgary. Lola Brigida has been consistent, but consistently just off the podium. 4th in Salt Lake, 6th in Calgary. But of course we know once on home ice, there's a little extra spring in the step, and I'm sure she is counting down until she gets to Milan in just a few weeks' time. But of course, you got to lock down those quota spots first. Salikova, quick to congratulate. Always nice to see. But Sandrine Tass has thrown down so far, and in the early going, both skaters in the early 33-second lap times. You're going to have to start carving that down. Just taking a look at the lap times in that last pair. Tass never above 33 seconds. Her entire race was in the 32-second lap range. And so when you're looking for consistency, pretty sure that sums it up. Now Lola Brigida dips down into the 32.5-second range. So what's interesting is Morozova has not done a 5K, to the best of my recollection, in competition since December of 2022. So getting the experience in the distances, trying to get all those quota spots for the country as they can. Last year at the World Championships in Hamar, she only did the 1,000 meters, coming in 24th. Brigida quick stepping around the corners, just keeping it consistent into the second half of the race. She's staying in the 32.69, now 7/100ths of a second. Is she going to shift it down? Interesting to see the coach not out on the ice with the lap board. To each their own. And it seems to be working right here. Tass. See if her lead can survive a pair. Now 4 seconds or 4/10ths of a second according to the live split, with 2,000 meters to go, and now up into the 33-second range, and the legs might be starting to feel it. Tass was so consistent, just kept those lap times the same. Doesn't seem to be too worried right now, as Lola Brigida did put up a challenge, was a couple 100ths of a second off, and now that live split getting bigger and bigger. As Joy Buna hits the ice. And now into the 34.5. Now Morozova lapping into the 34 range, but barring any last turns of pace, it looks like Sandrine Tass is going to remain atop the leaderboard with just 2 pairs remaining. A little more noise from the upper body from Lola Brigida. Fatigue taking its toll. She's another 33.5 seconds. You see the mouth agape. And a bit more labored is Lola Brigida. She's going to take the pair, I would imagine. But the 5K just hurts, doesn't it? You see it in the 1500 though, coming up for men. A lot of skaters say that's the worst one, as it's not quite a sprint, not quite a distance race. You can't go all out, but you also don't have the time to settle into a rhythm. But this one hurts the legs, hurts the oxygen, hurts the lungs. A grimace from Lola Brigida, the great champion. getting a 5K into the memory banks. And Sandrine Tass looking like she's on pace to remain atop the leaderboard with 2 pairs to go. And Lola Brigida now a 33.72, and Lola Brigida fading a little bit. She was challenging early, but has since dropped off. Morozova not a factor in this pair, and now Lola Brigida dropping both the arms just to keep the legs turning over, finding a rhythm. She's almost hobbling from one skate to the other. It's certainly not. And now she drops the arms. Fatigue is evident. Lola Brigida will go a 6:56.80. Good enough for 4th right now. And Morozova a 7:02.79. And so she will be in 8th place. So for a moment, Lola Brigida looked like she was challenging. But Sandrine Tass stays atop the leaderboard. And there is, however, you hear that fanfare. If you did, maybe I was talking too much, but that means it's a new personal best. That was for Morozova in 8th place, but a new personal best. As I mentioned, skater doesn't always do the 5,000 meters, even though it is only just done a rare few times on the World Cup circuit in a year.
It is now time for our pre-last pair number 5.
Now, really one of the big Showtime pairs. I'll let them get introduced.
National 5,000 meter champion and Olympic team pursuit champion, Isabel Whiteman. The outer lane representing Norway. 3-time overall winner of the ISU Long Distance World Cup. It's Ragnar Wiklund.
Go to the start. Ready.
There we go. So Weideman and Wiklund. The 25-year-old from Oslo. The 30-year-old from Ottawa. Both out of their respective nation's capital. Weideman, of course, silver medal in the 5,000 meters from Beijing 2022. Just taking a look at their 3,000 meter results previously. Weideman 5th and 4th in 1 and 2 in Salt Lake City and Calgary. Wiklund 3rd and 2nd as the 5,000 meters the day she climbs up onto the top step of the podium. Of course, plenty of Norwegian fans in attendance. It's a quick flight down to Schiphol, the airport in Amsterdam, and then the trains up to the Heerenveen area. Norway already has a couple venues that have hosted World Cups. First, I think of Hamar. They are building a new facility as well in Bergen in Norway. Another option. I was told that it would fit all the criteria for hosting World Cups. Through 1,000 meters, both skaters in the 32 range now, and is this their tempo that they'll be keeping? Wiklund in the green, and she'll get a good draft down the backstretch. Anytime you can slot into that slipstream, get dragged along a little bit. And of course, you have to be careful. You don't want to almost slow down if you're skating faster than the skater in front of you. So she tucks into the inner lane, and now Wiklund, the healthy gap through 1,400, 32.60 the lap time, a 33.05 for Weideman. Remember, Konine in second had lap 4 was in the 33-second lap range, and then dropped it back down to 32 the rest of the way. Tass has been all 32s.
Mooie opmaat zijn voor voorbereiding. Eigenlijk Holland voor Wiklund. En voor
finding that rhythm. Very comparable lap times. Wickland stepping around the corner, and now she'll get to go over the top on this crossover. Just looks like she's stepping so lightly around the corner. Certain spring in the step does Ragnar Wiklund. And she dips into the green. Look at that, low 32s. When the race goes long, Ragnar Wiklund finds her form. Silver medalist, of course, in the World Championships last season. It was in March in Hamar at home, only beaten by Lola Brigida, but she is ahead of the Italian right now, ahead of everybody right now. And into the second half of the race, Wiklund now adding another 32.2, Weideman 32.6. But Wiklund has been hitting low 32s for a couple laps in a row. The wide split from Sandrine Tass, who, well, there's a smile on her face for now. We'll see how long it stays up there. Certainly a fantastic time by the Belgian skater, as we're looking for people who may challenge the established figureheads. You look at the likes of Timothy Lubino, who set a world record in Salt Lake in the 5,000 meters, a guy who I knew was something of the breakaway master in the mass start, but now he is in the discussion in the men's 5,000 meters as a man to beat. Might Sandrine Tass now be coming together at the right time? Ragnar Wiklund looking like she's adding bit by bit. But don't count out Weideman. She knows how to put together a race. She's closing that back down to Sandrine Tass. 32.5 goes Weideman. Talking about her consistency, she's been around that 32.5 virtually the entire race. Another 32.17, 32.2, 32.3, pardon me, for Weideman. And so now Weideman is dropping the hammer a little bit. But let's see, well, this time, Wiklund, will she go under 32 seconds? Really no break in the form, is there? Just so steady. She goes 32.2. She has 2.5 seconds to work with. And look at Weideman, 31.8. No fading from her. She is adding to it. And these two skaters could be 1 and 2. As Weideman, plenty in reserve. Not much movement in that upper body, save for the arm. And now 1 to go. Wiklund to 32.2 has 3.3 seconds to work with, and Weideman goes sub 32 seconds again. I don't think there's enough time to catch Ragnar Wiklund, but Isabel Weideman, the back half of this race, has been stellar. And the fans at Tialf bringing the skaters home. A major reshuffling atop the leaderboard coming in seconds from now. Wiklund a 6:49.01 and a 6:50.10 for Weideman. And so look at that last lap. Weideman pulled back just about a second on Wiklund, but Wiklund had time in the bank to move atop the leaderboard. Good skates from both of them. And so Wiklund will be on the podium. We know that much. It's just a matter of what color will the medal be. All you need to know. Good job. Strickland. Could she be going for her first World Cup gold medal of the season with one pair to go? But it's a formidable pair, to be sure.
In de lijn, daar staat ze Tiof namens Nederland. Ze won in Salt Lake City, ze won in Heerenveen. Ze is de regerend wereldkampioen allround. Hier is Joy Bella. In outer lane, representing Canada. She's the current number 2 in the ISU World Cup Olympic team pursuit champion, Valerie Malte.
Go to the start. Ready.
Cleanly away. So Buna has only known position 1 on World Cup this season. Gold in the 3000 in Salt Lake. Gold in Calgary. That's what awaits them. Malte, though, has found the form of her life. It was silver in Salt Lake, bronze in Calgary, and then, of course, had a mass start medal in there as well. One that she will, of course, be racing I presume this weekend as well with Blondin and the team pursuit as well. Malte has been doing a lot of her training at that relatively new oval in Quebec City, in her home province. Has had access to a sports psychologist as well, who's found that that's proved to be a game changer, helping her figuring out training and how to push her 35-year-old frame. It's quite a bit different than when you're in your 20s. She's, of course, former short tracker as well. Made the switch over. He has won medals in both. The only Canadian speed skater to win Olympic medals in both short and long track. Part of a bronze medal relay side in Sochi back in 2014. Malte really now providing a 1-2 punch for the Canadians with Weideman in these distances. But Buna, a picture of focus. Through 1,400 meters, Buna goes sub 32 and has it locked in, doesn't she? When she's locked in like this, good luck everybody else. She's the last pair. She knows what needs to be done, and she is doing it. Has not gone above 31 seconds yet. Lap 2 was 31.1. Lap 3 was 31.5. Of course, Buna knows this ice very, very well. Another one. Sub 32. Malte, though, slipping into the 33s. So, the early returns, it looks very much like Isabel Weideman could be hanging on for a bronze medal, but of course a lot still to play out in this race, jumping to conclusions far too early. And now she dips into the 32s, but a 32-2 for Joy Buna. 33-2 for Malte, and I think we're just going to be watching the orange on the front. Heerenveen has the time to beat. Just taking a look. Heerenveen to 6:49.01. It's not really going to challenge Irene Schouten's track record. But look at the live split now. Almost 3 seconds to work with. But of course, if you don't time or pace your intervals just correctly, when the lights go out, that time disappears in a hurry. So 2,000 meters to go. Weekland 2.5 seconds ahead, but look at that. She is dipping into the 33s. I don't know if I sensed a little bit of worry from the crowd before they got loud, but let's see what Buna does. Might she have gone with putting time in the bank and trying to hold on the back 2,000 meters? But the time tips down 1/10 of a second by 1/10 of a second. She's got to find something left. It's down to 1.39. Buna, another one in the 33s. Weekland, might this be a golden moment for her? The advantage, it's now just half a second, isn't it? Sandrine Tass watching right now. She sits in third, and it's just a matter of a couple tenths of a second. There's still 3 laps to go, and it's 1/10. Buna is losing time here. And we wait for that green to turn red. And there it goes. And so Buna is seeing the time slip away. Weekland, I think she might sense it. Second place is now in doubt. Remember the push that Weideman did? She just finished 1.1 seconds behind Ragnar Weekland, and she put on an almighty surge. And so now Buna, perhaps risking third now. I think they know. Lola Brigida congratulating Weekland. And now this compares the time to Isabel Weideman's, and it's 1/10 of a second. And you just look at how she's fighting the ice a little bit. 1 to go, and now Buna is in the red to Weideman. I'm not sure, it's another 2+ seconds to Sandrine Tass. But Buna perhaps skating to bronze. And so Weekland will get her first gold of the season. It's looking like Weideman to get silver. Where will Joy Buna go? Dropping both the arms, she will go third, hanging on. 6:51.83, and so 2.82. That's about 4/10 of a second ahead of Sandrine Tass. A very good 4th place for her. And Malte will go 7:06.69 for 12th. But Buna will get bronze. Isabel Weideman will get silver, and gold to Ragnar Weekland. 3rd in week number 1 in the 3,000 in Salt Lake City. 2nd a week later in Calgary now when the distance shifts to 5,000 meters. She gets her first gold medal of the season. Buna started quickly though. Just not there in the last back half. National record for Sandrine Tass of Belgium. She starting to peak as the Olympics draw ever closer. There you have it. Weekland, Weideman, and Buna. 1, 2, and 3. Looking at the qualifying spots, Josie Hoffman with a 9th place. Certainly will help her qualification aspirations. Konheim there just off the podium as well. We'll see what another couple races in the legs will do for her in the coming weeks.
Wat ook opvallend is, Rugby moet natuurlijk 12 punten in Holland Joy betekent dat ze nu precies gelijk gaan staan in die strijd om die wereldbeker. Ja, ook nog wel
And the updated World Cup standings in the distances. Buna, Wickland, Weideman, Malte. Just look all the way down to top 9 to Bente Kerkhoff. And remember, when it comes to quota spots in the 5,000 meters, it is 2 per nation. And so the ice resurfacers are back out. They're going to take a break. I believe they'll hand out the medals, but I am not positive on that. But we will be back for the men's 1,500 meters. That coming up, I'm going to say just under 20 minutes from now. So enjoy the break. Talk to you on the other side.
Dan in het schaatsen. Je bent 17 keer Europees kampioen geweest, 2 keer wereldkampioen. Je bent wel aan de Olympische Spelen geweest voor in Beijing, 22 volgens mij. Wat zijn nog je goals voor het schaatsen?
Ja, inderdaad. Ik kwam uit skilert met wel een mooi palmares en dan die Olympische droom was er toch. Ik ben er in Beijing bij geweest. Dat was altijd zo'n beetje het plan. Er dan bij zijn en in Milaan echt presteren. Het heeft iets langer geduurd misschien dan ik gehoopt heb, maar klopt nu toch op de deur van het podium en daar ben ik wel heel blij mee voor dit seizoen, net op tijd.
Wat kunnen we dit seizoen nog van je verwachten? Waar kijk je nog naar uit?
Ik rij sowieso nog volgende week in Hamar, ook dit weekend nog 2 keer. En dan begint toch wel een beetje de voorbereiding aan de Olympische Spelen natuurlijk. En dat is voor iedereen denk ik het hoogtepunt van dit seizoen. En uiteraard 2 keer allround hier in Heerenveen.
Kijk, wij kijken naar jou en jij kijkt ook naar ons uit. Tiaf, mag je nog een heel groot applaus voor niemand minder dan Sandrine Tas! Rutger, we gaan terug naar jou.
Ja, zeker Rob, dankjewel. Hartstikke goed. Fijn dat je gelijk die emotie uit die sport had, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why we are here. And we are in the heart of the sport. We are in the heart of speed skating. And thank you so much, Rob, for giving these emotions from our Belgian colleague, of course, Sandrine Tas. Wonderful to see her. But ladies and gentlemen, we have some news that needs improving, because every day 137 women worldwide die as a result of violence by a partner, ex-partner, or family member. 1 in 3 women has experienced physical or sexual violence. This must be stopped. Orange the World is a global campaign by the UN Women to end violence against women and girls. And the municipality of Heerenveen is proud to support this cause, Stop Violence Against Women. But that's not the only way we make a difference. Today, of course, we will turn TF completely orange and send a powerful message to stop this violence. But you can make a difference as well. Go to the website or scan the QR code which is coming into the screens right now. Take out your telephone and sign our petition, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag medestander and pledge to show that you care too and you're too committed to ending violence against women and girls. Together we can make this difference, ladies and gentlemen. Please sign this petition as well. Dames en heren, ga met je QR-code, met je telefoon naar de QR-code. Scan alsjeblieft die QR-code en ga naar de website en zorg dat je meedoet. Stop geweld tegen vrouwen. En dat kunnen we alleen samen doen. Natuurlijk met de gemeente Heerenveen en natuurlijk met heel TIAF, wat we helemaal oranje maken nu. Maar we kunnen er nog iets veel krachtigers van maken, vrienden en vriendinnen. Ik zou zeggen, als je de QR-code hebt gescand, mooi dat je je telefoon bij de hand hebt. Maar ik zou je willen vragen om ook eventjes 2 handen eventjes in de lucht te doen. Want we gaan samen even een vuist maken tegen geweld tegen vrouwen. We gaan samen die vuist maken. En dat zou ik met jullie samen willen doen. En ik zou zeggen, pak dan eventjes je handen erbij, dames en heren. Pak je handen erbij en gaan we klappen. En dan maken we die vuist in de lucht natuurlijk. Maken we die vuist in de lucht. Klappen en vuist. Vuist. Klap, klap, vuist. Klap, klap, fist, come on. Put your fist up against violence. Against women, we need to stop it. Come on. And sing. And put your fist, come on. Fist up in the air, come on. On behalf of all the women in the organization, Orange the World, thank you so much for joining us, and please sign the petition. Dames en heren, teken de petitie. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit of a sharp contrast, but it's a holiday in the Netherlands today, because we are celebrating Saint Nicholas, and it's called Sinterklaas in the Netherlands, or Saint Nicolaas. And he is actually here in the stadium. We're very happy to have him here, ladies and gentlemen. He is going around in this wonderful stadium and he's giving presents. Dames en heren, Sinterklaas die komt eraan zometeen. Die is een rondje aan het maken hier in Tialf. Ik zou zeggen, vrienden, vriendinnen, zorg dat je hem een warme ontvangst geeft. En natuurlijk heeft hij zijn eigen hofkap, ik zou willen zeggen huisband, maar hij heeft zijn eigen huisband meegenomen, vrienden, vriendinnen. Maak een waanzinnig applaus voor de Pieterband Splash! Ik zie de dames nu al klaar zijn. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we're slowly going over to the prize-giving ceremony in just a few moments. And it means we're going to start the music. Here we go. Attention to the train.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the ISU World Cup 5,000 meter women. In third place and bronze medalist with a final time of 6:51.83, representing the Netherlands, Joy Beunen.
Medals and memorable gifts are being presented by Mr. Sergio Anesi, the ISU representative, and Mr. Herman de Haan, the director of the Royal Dutch Skating Federation. In second place and silver medalist with a final time of 6:50.11, representing Canada, Isabel Whiteman. And then in first place and the gold medalist of this 5,000 meter women with a time of 6:49.01, representing Norway, Ragne Wiklund. Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the 5,000 meter women. The third place, Joy Beunen. Second place, Isabel Whiteman. And the winner, first place, Ragne Wiklund.
test.
Men's 1500 meters coming up next. If you are watching, Sinterklaas is in the house in Tialf, of course. It is the holiday in the Netherlands celebrating St. Nicholas, so all the more reason to be enjoying the atmosphere in perhaps speed skating's finest forum. 1500 meters coming up. What is in store? Is it the legend of Jordan continuing to grow? He went 2 for 2. But watch out for young Finn Sonnekab of Germany. A couple of medals in North America. And we will get to those storylines shortly. You can see the start lists, the pairs. Kjeldnæs in the 10th pair. Stores going up against Joep Venemars in the 8th. So lots to pay attention to. Pair number 1. Alexander Farthofer of Austria, the youngster.
Go to the start.
Going up against Valentin Thiebaud of France.
Ready.
Farthofer, certainly one to watch, the man from Würgel, just west of Innsbruck. He's picked up wins at the junior and the neo-senior level, including in the 1500 meters. He won the B division in the 5,000 meters in Salt Lake City, and so certainly one to watch. Valentin Thiebaud largely has been a B division skater, but a 6-time French champion, also aiming, of course, for 2030 out of the Rhone Alps, and so he will certainly be at home in 2030. But of course, Milan also not far away from that part of France. But this event, as I was talking about earlier, not quite a sprint, also not a distance event. It is just all pain, and right now Thiebaud going just under 26. Just taking a look. Sorry, Farthofer won the B division in the 1500 meters in Calgary back in World Cup number 2. Thiebaud has only been in the B division in the 1500. He was 11th, and then setting a national record, coming in 3rd in the B division. This French side, no indoor ovals to speak of in their own country. They do their national championships in Germany. But Farthofer right now, just 20 years of age. This is actually Valentin Thiebaud's first ever A division race. Going in pair number 1, it will be Farthofer taking it 1:45.45 and 1:45.98 by Valentin Thiebaud. And so the young man from Austria sets the time to beat. Cool, look at the blades on the ice there. Nice to see more Austrian skaters coming up. Of course, for a number of years, it just felt like in the A division, I was just calling Vanessa Herzog, but she has company now, and there is Jordan Stolz. He goes in pair number 8, but we are in pair number 2 right now. Sander Eitrem, Hendrik Dombeck.
Go to the start. Ready.
This is really 1,500 meters, just kind of a warm-up for Eitrem, isn't it? 5,000 meter world champion, Dombeck, the 28-year-old, originally from Munich, now living and training out of Erfurt. He was one of 6 German men's skaters to, let's say, dress down for a calendar for this year. He did it last year. Not sure if they did it for 2026, but a big fundraiser for these guys because there are a lot of out-of-pocket expenses for training camps, equipment, and the like. But Dombeck, one of the guys getting creative as they pursue their Olympic dreams. Eitrem 16th and 13th in the 2 World Cups this season. Both of Dombeck's races have come in the B division, where he was 4th and 2nd. And right now, Dombeck is in the lead. He and Eitrem lapping almost identically in that lap. Dombeck has 9/10 of a second in the bank, but Eitrem, I imagine, is just shifting perhaps from first into second gear right now. And they'll come up to get the bell, and now here comes Eitrem, almost there to make the pass. And just look at that. Nearly, exactly 8/10 of a second the advantage. Now Dombeck's going to want to try to get pulled along a little bit. Might be too big of a gap to get in the slipstream as Eitrem just starts to skate into this race. And Dombeck trying to hang on, drops both the arms. Eitrem will win the pair. Will he move atop the leaderboard? Yes, by half a second. 1:44.95. The man from Norway is the new leader. The 10,000 meters goes tomorrow, and so it's largely just a warm-up for Sander Eitrem. For the moment, they'll be atop the leaderboard. So, pair number 3.
On behalf of the skaters, thank you very much. It's now time for race number 3. In the inner lane, representing Norway, it's Didrik and Strand. And in the outer lane, representing Hungary, it's Kim Min-suk.
Go to the start. Ready.
Interesting pair here. Kim Min-suk, 2-time defending Olympic bronze medalist in this distance. Of course, that was competing for Korea. And he's going up against one of the young up-and-comers, 20-year-old Didrik Engstrand. Last year's World Juniors, 2 times a silver medal in the 1,000 and the 1,500, and then at the senior level, he came 7th in the 1,500. Both of them in the green right now. couple of tenths of a second. Kim's resume in this distance extensive. He has gold medals in the 1500 at the Youth Olympics, the Asian Games, the Four Continents Championships, and originally, of course, from Anyang, just outside of Seoul. He's been in Hungary since 2024. We will see what his first Olympics in the red, white, and green will do, and he's in the green. Strand also would be a big change to the leaderboard. It really is just a race of pain, isn't it? It's short, but it is so, so hard. They're going to be level. Strand, the left arm coming loose a little bit, almost identical, but perhaps advantage to Strand. To see how he's pacing himself, he's a little bit quicker that lap time. The time to beat for the moment, 1:44.95. That is being held by Sander Eitram. Will it last one pair? Kim on the inner lane, he's closing it. I'm not sure if he's closed enough. Strand just leading it, he'll take the pair and just slip to third. So the last lap wasn't there for both of these men. 1:8.79 the lap time, and so they slip on down a little bit. They were right there until the end. Once the lactic acid starts to settle into the legs, there's a lot of suffering. So the debrief on that one, they go third and sixth, 1:45.85 for Strand, and Kim a 1:46.21.
Two-time 1500-meter national champion, outway, representing Austria, national record holder in 1,000 meters and master expert Gabriel Odor.
Go to the start. Ready.
And there's a false start. Belatedly. Both got a few strides in. The red flag there, that means the outer lane. If you've been watching a lot of the Short Track World Tour, where there is no second chance, reminder here, there is. Very subtle. Yeah, he didn't know where it was. Now they're saying the inner armband.
False start, inner lane, skate crossing the line. Go to the stop.
Gets ready for her 1,000 meters. We'll get back to this 1,500 meter heat.
Ready.
And they got a few strides in before the gun brought them back last time. I just waited. This time they are cleanly away. Nonomura Taiyo, nicknamed Nonotai, from Nakashibetsu on Hokkaido. Just looking at where they were. Nonomura has a pair of 12th places in this distance. Gabriel Oder of Austria, 3rd in the B division in week 1, 7th in the A division in number 2. Oder training in Calgary as Kjeldnøs arrives. And still, Sander Eitram has the time to beat. Nonomura was 24th at the World Championships in this distance. He was saying after the first two, they did not go as planned as North America, and what he felt more was a mental weakness. skaters. That's goes without saying how incredibly important your mental health is, as well as your physical health, and he's keen to certainly prove that he has it all in control. Nonomura led a Japanese sweep in this distance at the University Games in Lake Placid in 2023. He was the first skater under a minute 50 on that Olympic surface, and Oder in front right now, the man who has trained a lot out of Calgary, but both of those times dipping closer to the red as, of course, Eitrem just started skating into the race more and more. We'll see how much longer Oder can hold on. Nonomura seeing his time dip further and further into the red, and just look at the agony on his face, keeping the arm going, keeping the legs going. Oder will go second by 0.14 of a second. 1:45.09, so close for the man from Austria. But Sander Eitrem survives another scare. These distances, when it comes to Olympic qualifying, the 1,500 meters, like all the other ones except for the long distance events, you're looking for the top 21 athletes, but of course, maximum 3 per country at most, and so currently there are 5 Dutch skaters in the top 21, so they'll go a little bit deeper from that, and here is one of them, Wesley Dice, on the inlet.
Go to the start. Ready.
And so another interesting race. Dice, very experienced. The 1,500 is his preferred event. He, of course, picked up that world record in the mixed gender relay with Chloe Hugendorn. His first World Cup gold medal was in the 1,500 back in 2022, and we'll see how it's going in the early few hundred meters. And both of them in the green. Liu Han Bin, 19 years of age, picked up his first World Cup medal in Salt Lake City as a member of the Chinese team pursuit side. He was 22nd at the World Championships in this distance. Just looking, it is still Wesley Dice in the lead. He has 14th and 9th places. Liu won the B division in Salt Lake City and then a 10th place in Calgary. Both of them in the green, but as we remember, Sander Eitrem was just shifting into another gear as he pulled ahead late. A good draft by Dice, and then tipping into the inner lane. He will get the bell. And he has 0.2 of a second to work with over Sander Eitrem. Just remember, Sander Eitrem picked it up as he went along. And so this is certainly going to be a challenge for Wesley Dice. He has said he's not quite of that sprint branch and not quite from the distance branch. And Dice is going to win the pair, but will he go atop the leaderboard? No, he'll slip to 5th. And 0.9 of a second. Dice, just that last lap proving costly for a number of skaters. Just taking a look at the last lap, Eitrem did a 27.69. Take a look back at this one. So Sander Eitrem survives another challenge. He has 5 more pairs to go.
In race number 6, the inner lane, representing Italy, master expert, and number 9 in our current ISU World Cup rankings, Daniele Di Stefano. 10 van de tussenstand in de wereldbeker. Natuurlijk onze voormalig nationale stedenkampioen snel.
There we go, Daniele Di Stefano, Timon Snell.
Go to the start. Wordy.
What's interesting is looking for those quota spots. The 3 have been earned for the countries. Naus, Renemars, and Prins. Timon Snell is the 4th one. He's sitting in 10th overall, so well within the top 21, but he just has his own teammates in front of him, and so those Dutch trials right after Christmas are going to be so massive for so many skaters. And Snell off quickly, putting 9/10 of a second in the bank. Daniele Di Stefano also there. This is going to be an interesting crossover. They do get through, and in the end it's Snell going over the top into the inner lane. Snell is 15th and 8th on the World Cup season. Di Stefano 10th and 11th. And Snell adding to his lead, 1.35 seconds. The lap time 25.72. So the next question, can he maintain it? 1500, an event where you can have it for 1100 meters, but the last 4, it all just goes away. Di Stefano looking perhaps a bit labored, and you see Snell now dipping below 9/10 of a second. Di Stefano also just hanging in there. And watch the bottom right of your screen and see if they start to tick away. At least there's the inner lane for Timon Snell. He still has about a half a second to work with inside 100 meters. Can he finally jump ahead of Sander Eitrem? Timon Snell, no, 0.03 of a second. Huh. So close for Timon Snell. But that last lap, so far, the advantage is the skater who can go long distances. You have to wonder, where did 0.03 of a second come from? Just so close.
Great move by Daniele Di Stefano and relief by Sander
Eitrem just hanging on. 1:44.99 for Snell, adjusted to 0.04 of a second. It's now Peter Kongshaug and Kazuya Yamada in Japan.
Go to the start. Wordy.
So what's fun about this pair is they skated to a tie in Calgary in week number 2, tying for 15th place. I had to do a double check at my notes when I saw 15 next to both of them, and I went, really? Yeah, it was a 1:43.96. And in week number 1, not much separated them either. Kongshaug was 4th, Yamada was 6th. And in the early going, both of them have about a half a second's advantage, but always in the back of your mind, it's Sander Eitrem leading the race. In that last lap, he can just bring it. Of course, Kongshaug knows his teammate very well. Kongshaug coming second to Eitrem at the European Championships on this ice, and it came down to the 10K, really. with Eitrem pulling away as Kongshaug and he battled in a lot of the shorter distances. But the 1500 could be where Kongshaug has the advantage, but there is still one to go. Watch the bottom right of your screen to see how it progresses. It is 0.87 right now for Peter Kongshaug. The lap time, 26.87 there. But just watch it tick down, tick down, tick down. Eitrem just had it dialed in on that last lap. It's down to half a second. Kongshaug knows what he has to chase, and it is just ticking away inside 100 meters. His teammates cheering for him. Eitrem trying to bring Kongshaug to the line. No, he can't get it by 0.12 of a second. I'm sure if Eitrem was to lose to somebody, he'd have been more than happy to see it be his teammate. But Peter Kongshaug will slip to third, behind Tymon Snell and Sander Eitrem. So Norwegians first and third for the moment. And still leading. He's seen skaters challenge him through 1,100 meters, but it's that last lap that brings him down. But is this the moment?
Go to the stop. Wordy.
So, Duke Venemars, Jordan Stolz. Stolz has gone 2 for 2 in this distance on the season. And since he loves records of all sorts, just keeping an eye, track record is a 1:43 even, held by Kjeldnus. And the current leading time, Sander Eitrem's 1:44.95, and so Stolz would have to be a country mile ahead to break the track record, and these guys are off to a quick opening. See how they can hold it. Venemars, of course, prolific sprinter. World champion in the 1,000. Both of them, now they've added to it even more. The crowd coming to life. They're seeing big, big negative splits. Venemars has been 7th and 4th this season. They have almost 2 seconds to work with. And watch that, as Venemars starts to fade a little bit, here comes Jordan Stolz. With 1 to go, so many skaters have seen their leads disappear. Jordan Stolz is flipping that script, and as he's done so many times before, he is the man to beat, and this is where he can shift. On the final crossover, he has that acceleration. I have seen it several times before. On the last lap, final crossover, here comes the man from Wisconsin, Jordan Stolz. He will go to the top of the leaderboard, and the time is a new track record. He never ceases to amaze, does he? 1:42.55. That track record has been in place since March of 2020. And the mutual respect from fans and skater. He just does it again and again and again. Still a couple more pairs to come. And in the next pair is the young man setting records of his own from Germany on the outer lane.
Go to the start. Wordy.
Finn Zonnekob setting the world alight, the latest revelation. It seems there's one every year. We've had Stolz, we've had Metode Gilek, and now we have Finn Zonnekob of Germany. 2 medals in the 1500s this year. But of course, Tim Prins, 22 years of age, has also put up some fine results. Both of them in the green right now, but always in the back of your mind, you are going up against Jordan Stolz, who has the time to beat. Zonnekob, a bronze and a silver. Prins has been 8th and 5th, and they're side by side right now. With a couple of laps to go, Prins right on that time by Stolz. But we talk about that last shift on the final lap before the final corner. Stolz just has the ability to add that tempo just before that final corner. But Prins now has 1 to go. These two guys sitting 3rd and 4th right now. Zonnekob is a former World Junior champion as well, but he is one who is turning heads. He still says he wants to go do World Juniors after the Olympics. I guess at that young age you can, but now Zonnekob really coming into it. Stolz not even really watching what's going on behind him. The young German skater is going to take the pair. How will he challenge Stolz? He will go into 2nd. And so a big final lap by Finn Zonnekob. He is really setting himself up to be the man behind the man. But Stolz is just so far ahead. Nearly 2 seconds ahead. But Stolz is just never ceases to amaze. The 18-year-old, though, from Germany, put up a very good effort there. And now let's see what remains. Here we go. So he's just seen his track record beaten at Tialf. And so what does Kjeld Nuis have to show? But of course, Ning Zhongyan also not too bad himself. One of the great sprinters in the world. A silver medal in the 1,000 in 2024 in Calgary. Both of them in the green right now. We expect Ning to start off quickly, and we'll see how he can hold it. Now, so far this year, a 5th and a 3rd. He was back on the podium in Calgary. Ning, a 2nd and a 6th. Different ice surfaces, different conditions, of course. And now, here comes Kjeld Nuis. And he will see 2 to go, but he has 0.6 of a second to work with. And he has seen it before, 1500s, where he has been ahead of Stolz heading into the final 400 meters. But Stolz just shifts. There's something in there that he unlocks, and he saves it for the 1500, and he just drives away. Let's see what Naus has left. Ning is drifting into the red. Naus is drifting close, and he's just 100th of a second behind. Both of them 26.6, nearly identical lap times. And what is left? Stolz now watches. His final lap time was a 27.56. Naus has the inner lane. Here comes the great Dutch champion. He is going to take the pair. Will he challenge Stolz? No! But he will get second. A shrug? Not bad. He's the only skater within a second of Jordan Stolz, and it's going to be bronze for Ning Zhongyan. Just off the pace. But Kjeld Naus, a man who rises for the big occasions, seeing his results tick higher in the 1500 meters as we look back at this race. The more Jordan Stolz skates, the more it looks like maybe just pneumonia can beat him. He's gone 3 for 3 in the 1500. And another celebration to come. Writing what could be one of the great stories of the 2026 Olympics as you see the results. New track record for Jordan Stolz. Yet another record to toss onto the ever-growing pile. 1:42.55, the winning time. Kjeld Naus in second and Ning Zhongyan in third. Finn Zonekab just off the podium. And Tim Prins rounds out the top 5. And so our second break of the day coming up as the celebrations will continue for Jordan Stolz. On the other side, we will have the women's 1,000 meters. Pardon me. And you see 180 points. That's 3 for 3. Zonekab in second. Kjeld Naus in third in the standings in this distance. And remember, the top 21 what would be on course for the Olympics, but then country quota positions come into play. So we'll see how this plays out. That will be decided after next weekend's World Cup stop. And one more break to come. On the other side is the women's 1,000 meters.
Yeah, I liked it, yeah. You were fighting all the time. Yeah, I backed off from the beginning of the match.
And then 23.3.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a little bit too fast for me. And when I do that, I have 3.6 and 3.5, and then I like good.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Sorry for the record.
No. Record's meant to be broken, right?
Thank you. Yeah. Miho Takagi. She's in race number 1 with a gold colors. It's a special treatment to the champions, to the games. Because she is the defending champion of the 1,000-meter ISU World Cup. These are the current standings. Jutta Leerman leading with 80 points. The Coppels are number 2, 54 points. And Leah Gisela Marsh.
Last event of the day coming up, the women's 1,000 meters.
You will see all top 3 skaters in this 1,000-meter women. 1000 meter hier het lastige afstand. Is natuurlijk niet een sprintafstand, maar eigenlijk ook niet. Nee, want je moet 2 keer 5 minuten rijden. Dus dat is meer dan een minuut. Minuut 14.
And look at the standings coming up.
In het bereik van de middenafstand.
Femke Kok leading the way.
Zijn op een minuut.
She will go in pair number 9 alongside Isabel Grevelt. Look at the pairs though. Interesting start. Miho Takagi, the great Japanese skater, not quite finding her form just yet. The 31-year-old. All the way down. Jutta Leerdam, the winner in week number 1 in Salt Lake City, will go in pair number 10. And here we go with pair number 1, Takagi and Vanessa Herzog.
This is race number 1. In a lane, representing Japan, ISU World Cup winner and reigning Olympic champion, Miho Takagi. Out of lane, representing Austria, former world champion in the 500 meters, it's Vanessa Herzog.
Go to the start. Ready.
So amazing to think it was 15-year-old Miho Takagi who skated at the 2010 Olympics, the first 9th grader ever on a Japanese speed skating team. Only did the 1,000 meters in Calgary, coming in 7th. But the master of preparation, we'll see how she rounds into the form. 200 meters leading 17.77. Herzog was in the B division for both World Cups in North America, finishing 14th and then 3rd. Certainly we've seen her with great results in the 500 meters over the years, but she's now going up against the Olympic champion in this distance. 27.27 the lap time for Takagi. The track record, mind you, is a 1:12.8. Jutta Leerdam holds that going back to about this time in 2022. Takagi is going to take the first pair. We'll set the time to beat. The time to beat is 1:14.28. The last lap time was a 29.24, and so we'll see what kind of form the great Miho Takagi is in now that we've made the shift over to Europe. Herzog going a 1:17.20.
So let's now focus on race number 2.
So let's see how long that holds up. Might she be rounding into form at just the right time? Pair number 2, Elizaveta Golubeva and Sofia Thorup.
The outer lane, representing Denmark, Sofia Thorup.
Go to the start. Ready.
Thorup, one of the skaters who shifted her training location from Salt Lake City to Calgary before this season. She did finish first in the B division in Calgary after coming 12th in Salt Lake City. Golubeva. Wait a minute. The bell rang a little bit too early. Early returns, both of them over 18 seconds through 200 meters. Golubeva, 9th and 2nd in the B division this season as both of them make the jump up into A. But after the first split, both of them were chasing Miho Takagi. Could that be one of those times that stands all the way from pair number 1? Thorpe has half a second to chase down on the last lap, 27:42, her lap time. Will be Thorpe, the Denmark skater, losing a bit of a stride there coming around the corner. Bit off balance. Golubeva closing it back up. And Thorpe goes second, a 1:15.98. So it's a very good last lap from Golubeva to close it up. But Takagi has just thrown down a time that has a healthy advantage over chasing skaters. So Takagi survives one for there's the little wobble right there. As the fatigue starts to build up, the form starts to break a little bit. As Femke Kok, and over her shoulder, you love those shots. The two Dutch great rivals. Number 3, Kim Min Sun and Alexa Scott.
Go to the start. Ready.
Kim has plenty of World Cup success, of course, a lot of that in the 500 meters. The 26-year-old from Seoul against Alexa Scott, the Canadian originally out of Brandon, Manitoba, now training in Calgary. Scott was in the B division in Calgary, finishing 15th. And she was second in the B division in the first week. Kim, 12th in Calgary, third in the B division in Salt Lake. I'd imagine a quick opener for Kim and then see how she hangs on. They get the bell. How do they match up against Takagi? She is 0.7 of a second in arrears. Certainly the quicker of the lap. Last crossover, she should get a bit of a draft behind Scott, get sucked along a little bit, and then we'll get to tuck into the inner lane. Good drafting by Kim. She is a 4 continents champion in the 1,000 back in 2023, and she will take the pair. And how will she challenge Miho Takagi? She'll go to second, but by more than a second and a half. Just further evidence of the mammoth time. Or with each passing pair, it looks like a mammoth time by Miho Takagi. I know the ISU's been having the quiet room concept to help skaters find that mental balance, and they're... Who doesn't love puppies? I mean, seriously. Heat number 4.
Go to the start. Ready.
And so Bosiek and Smeding in this one. Bosiek has 13th and 18th this season. Smeding won the B division in Salt Lake and 16th the following weekend in Calgary. Of course, top 21 will be the Olympic cutoff. Of course, each country can have a maximum of 3 skaters entered. And so I can think of some intense intra-team rivalry, looking at the Dutch, of course. And at the bell, it is Smeding out in front. About 0.3 of a second off the pace. Set still from pair number 1 by Miho Takagi. Bosiek will get a nice draft down the back stretch, but here comes Smeding inside 100 meters to go, dropping both the arms. Not going to catch Takagi, but she will go to second with 1.13. Bosiek to 8th with a 1:17.23, almost 3 seconds off the pace. So we might be waiting late on in this thing until we find someone who can challenge Miho Takagi. Might she be back to her very best? So long as she's liking that one.
Now we move on to race number 5.
Fifth pair now on the ice.
The junior world record holder in 500 meters is Lee Na-yoon. The outer lane tee-off. Please welcome the reigning Olympic 500-meter champion. It's Erin Jackson.
Go to the start. Ready.
So Jackson, not sure what happened there off the line, but that will be her day done and dusted for the 500-meter Olympic champion. I know there's might just wanted to have gotten to the start line to get the points for the World Cup and for that ranking criteria. But it is Lee Na-yoon now off on her own. Lee's 2 World Cups this season. She's got an 11th and a 13th. She's chasing the time. Set still by Miho Takagi. And there is the bell. She is only 0.4 of a second off the pace. And so it is a matter of continuing her sort of speed, a 27.49 lap time. But so much changes on the last lap. And so often when you do 1,000 meters, when you hear the bell, you know that you don't have it on that day or you'll be close. But she is right in it right now. Takagi is a 1:14.29. Lee Na-yoon will go 1:15.28. And so second, 99 hundredths of a second. And so she's the first skater under 1 second away from Takagi's time. That's certainly something to hang your hat on today. And you don't want to guess. But either way, Jackson just not there off the start line, and it was a one-woman race. And you do hope that it is not injury-related for such an exciting skater like Jackson in the 500 meters in particular. But we will move into pair number 6.
Now time for race number 6, entering the top 10 in the ISU World Cup. In a lane representing Japan, number 9 of our current standings, Yoshida
Go to the start. Ready.
So Yoshida Yukino and Tsien Yoshida, originally out of Morioka. Her best result in the 1,000 this season is in 8th place, instead of doing that in Calgary. Tsi was 11th in Calgary. And so Yoshida, not far back of her teammate. That's one of the closest openings we've had right now, just about 0.2 of a second. As the times start to get faster, it would be ironic for the great Takagi to see her time fall into one of her teammates. There's another Japanese skater coming up in pair number 7. And 1 to go, and it's about half a second now. Yoshida Yukino. And Tsi sitting back in 10th. Lap time there, 27.59. Both of them ticking over 50 kilometers an hour, and Yoshida will get a good draft and then tuck into the inner lane. Remember, the time to beat is still 1:14.29, and it will go 1:15.34. That's third for Yoshida. And so another time survives its challenge. Takagi still sitting atop the standings. Into heat number 7, pardon me.
Representing Japan, number 7 in the current Taiju World Cup ranking. Please welcome Yamada Ryo. In outer lane, in de buitenlaag staat ze waar. 5-voudig wereldkampioen, 4-voudig Europees allround kampioen. En Gino, hier is onze eigen Antoinette Rijma Ryo.
Go to the start. Ready.
Right Madayong, reigning European champion. That was held back in January on this very ice in tee-off. It came down to the wire. That was in an all-round format. The European Championships coming up in Poland. I believe that will be back to a single distances format. But at the beginning, Yamada Ryo, and it's Yamada setting the quickest time, about 0.3 of a second off the pace. Right Madayong, of course, we know, can go up to the 3,000, the 1,500 as well. So might she skate into this race as it progresses? Yamada this season, best result a 6th, that being in Salt Lake City. Right Madayong has a pair of 9th place results. And at the bell, and look at this. This is interesting. Yamada about 0.3 of a second off the pace, but of course Takagi just had that perfect last lap, didn't it? Just had it nailed. And we shall see if Yamada can also do something similar. Just getting it dialed on that last lap when the legs are starting to tire. And look at this. It is Right Madayong skating into this pair. It will be Right Madayong taking the pair, going to second. 1:14.84. So by 55 hundredths of a second. So Right Madayong did skate into it. Yamada did fade a little bit, but they are closing in bit by bit on the time set by Miho Takagi. Right Madayong to second. Such a composed race. Right Madayong from Rotterdam, which is north of Groningen. I wonder if Takagi knows what's going on. She sits alone right now. Good results for Japanese skaters, first, third, and fifth right now. And pair number 8.
Go to the start. Ready.
Oh, and we do have a false start there. And that will be to Flitterus. They really do spot the slightest moves, don't they?
Full start, out lane, not stable position. Go to the start.
Here we go.
Ready.
And this time they are away cleanly. Flitterus, from not far away from Heerenveen, from St. Nicolasga in Friesland, west of Heerenveen. A lot of skaters on this team being born near this oval. Certainly provides great training facilities. Beatrice Lamarche, an interesting prospect. I chatted with one of the Canadian coaches in the lead-up to the first World Cups of the season. I went, who's on a vein of form? And she went, Beatrice Lamarche, maybe not for a podium, but she's skating well. And sure enough, in weekend number 1 in Salt Lake, she lands a bronze medal and then finished 6th the following weekend in Calgary. At the bell, Flitterus leading, but by a few hundredths of a second. They are both close to Miho Takagi's time. Now that live tracker comes up, it's mere tenths of a second, but you just start to see it drifting away bit by bit. Just a sign again of how good Takagi's last lap was. Flitterus has a 4th and a 3rd place on World Cup this season. Looks like this could be Lamarche's pair, and the Canadian coming to take it. Where will she finish? However, she will go 3rd with a 1:15.13. And Flitterus will go 1:15.59, slotting into 8th, and so they're getting closer. But through 600 meters, that last 400, once again, proving to be the difference. But another good skate by Beatrice Lamarche. Might she be one of the skaters to watch for the Canadians for this cycle, maybe the next cycle as well. Either way, pair number 9 of 10.
Go to the start. Ready.
Just the interesting differences as they get prepped. Femke Kok, just a nice smile and a wave. Isabel Grevelt psyching herself up. Kok, a silver and a gold in this distance. Grevelt jumping up to silver in Calgary after starting with a 10th place result. And if you're just looking at so much Dutch talent in this depth, picking 3 skaters from this wealth of ability will be such a difficult task. That event coming up after Christmas is going to be an absolute barn burner. Wish I could see it. Hopefully we can find it somewhere. It is Femke Kok leading in the green. Might Miho Takagi's time face its stiffest challenge yet? It has been in place since pair number 1. And Kok has 0.4 of a second to work with. Grevelt a little bit off the pace, a second back. And this one looks like it is Femke Kok's race to lose, but look at that, bit by bit. The time split live, ticking down. This one is going to come down to the wire. Femke Kok down to 0.1. Could Miho Takagi's time hang on? Here comes Femke Kok. She'll stop the clock and go second by 0.17 of a second. And Miho Takagi will be back on the podium. What color will the medal be? Femke Kok has come closest. Grevelt in 14th, the 1:16.53. And so, at the moment, Miho Takagi, Femke Kok, Antoinette Wright-Madayong, your top 3 with 1 pair to go.
Go to the start. Ready.
Leerdam has the track record here in TL for 1:12.80. It's going to take some doing to beat that time today, but she's up against Brittany Bowe, the great American. She has been back on the podium this season on World Cup in what is her swan song season. And it is Bowe with the quicker opener, but we do know Leerdam loves to skate into races. Bowe, who does not yet have an Olympic gold medal, but might there be one final great moment coming for the American? It is Leerdam, who has a gold in week number 1 in Salt Lake in the 1,000 and then was 4th. Bowe has a pair of 5th place results. Right now it is Leerdam up by half a second. She has this one dialed. What kind of final lap does she have ahead of her? Takagi had it nailed in the final 400 meters. Leerdam has some time to work with. Femke Kok was also in the green coming into the last 400. A little bit of a wobble there entering the corner. It's ticking down. 0.2 of a second the advantage. The final few strides. Leerdam to take gold. Yes, she does. 1:14.16. Jutta Leerdam, her second win in the 1,000, in 4th place. Couple of great skates. 1:14.17 Leerdam's time, and Bowe's 1:15.55. And so, Jutta Leerdam going back atop the podium. Will be ahead of Miho Takagi and Femke Kok. Imagine that's family in the audience cheering her on. So her second win in the 1,000 on the season coming on home ice in the Netherlands. Look out, Miho Takagi is renewing that rivalry with Jutta Leerdam coming in a very close second. Certainly much more to come, particularly from those two, but also throw in Femke Kok, the women's 1,000. So much depth in that field. And there you have the results by 0.12 of a second. Leerdam taking it over a resurgent Miho Takagi, who put up that time in heat number 1. Down to top 10 from Elias Smeding. That will certainly do some good for her Olympic quota qualification spots. And when you're a team of really one on the women's side, any quota spot you earn will be your own in all likelihood. So, concluding the action for the day, Jutta Leerdam taking gold in the women's 1,000. Miho Takagi second, Femke Kok third. We'll do more medals, and then I'll be back to sign off for the day.
The medals are awarded by Mr. Sergio Anesi, the ISU representative. And the memorable gifts are being presented by Mr. Herman de Haan, the director of the Royal Dutch Skating Federation. In second place and silver medalist with a time of 1:43.31, representing the Netherlands, Kjeld Nuis. And then in first place and the gold medalist in a new track record of 1:42.55, representing the United States of America, here is Jordan Stoltz! Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalist for the 1500 meter man. Third place, Nick Zonyan. Second place, Kjeld Nuis. And the first place, the winner, Jordan Stoltz. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the ISU World Cup 1000 meter women. In third place and bronze medalist with a final time of 1:14.46, representing the Netherlands, Femke Kok. And the medals are awarded by Mr. Sergio Anesi, the ISU representative. And the memorable gifts are being presented by Mr. Herman de Haan, the director of the Royal Dutch Skating Federation. In second place and silver medalist with a time of 1:14.29, representing Japan, Miho Takagi. And then in first place, the gold medalist with a time of 1:14.17, representing the Netherlands, Miss 1000 meter, Jutta Leerdam! Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the 1000 meter women. Third place, Femke Kok. Second place, Miho Takagi. And the winner, first place, Jutta Leerdam.
Look back at that women's 1,000 meters, Femke Kok on the podium again. This time the medal is bronze. Miho Takagi, another big step forward for her, finishing a very close second behind Jutta Leerdam atop the podium. That wraps up night number 1 at Tialf in Heerenveen. Lots more to come this weekend as Olympic qualifying really goes down to the wire. A couple more days and then one more weekend to come. Tomorrow, there is the men's 10,000 meters, the 1,500 for women, and the 1,000 meter for men. And so I will sign off for now on behalf of everybody involved with putting together the show here. My name is Gavin Day. Until next time, goodbye.